Welcome back to Vikings Game Plan from the TCO studios. Pete Bercich, analyst for the Vikings Radio Network. Let's take a look extensively at some Lions film, beginning with an athletic offensive line.
The Detroit Lions are really depending on their O-line athleticism. And what does that mean? That means they can move guys around, they can pull them. All they're trying to do is to get angles on the defensive front and the linebackers. And you're going to see a really good example of this right here. Not too often are you able to get a center to pull. We've seen that here, but you get a nice down block on the nose tackle, the center pulls and is able to kick out. Meanwhile, TJ Lang getting up to the second level, blocking out the linebacker. But the key on this whole thing and what the Lions do, they get some good blocking out of their tight ends. The tight end is able to get underneath the linebacker and seal off that backside. So this cut right there is still able to be made. So they do a very nice job up front with taking angles and then getting Kerryon Johnson up to the second level where he does have quite a bit of quickness.
Back to this, Chanhassen High School, Frank Ragnow, what do you think?
Very strong player. They move him around quite a bit. If he can get his hands on you, he could definitely move the pile, and we'll see that in a couple more plays. But here in this case, he's just angling down, blocking the 300-plus pound nose tackle, and just keeping him out. As offensive linemen go, he's what you would call a road grader, right? He's a tough guy. He gets after it. Absolutely can move the pile on you. So you got to be careful and be aware of where he is. And you mentioned his ability to move right now. They'll pull the left guard here, on Ragnow. And you see the Miami Dolphins aren't helping themselves in some ways because they're sending this defensive tackle underneath. So that's going to allow the Lions to kind of pile this whole thing down. And they're able to push the defensive line, and that's what they've been successful with. They get this push to the second level.
Wow.
Ragnow comes through, totally he just devours the linebacker. I mean, the linebacker disappears on film.
So road graders can be athletic?
Well, he's athletic in that he can move 300 and some pounds around, around the pile here and get a guy out. But like I said, once he gets his pads on you, boom, the linebackers need to be more athletic and get around him. You don't want to meet that guy in a hole, and then he's just going to roll you out.
The rookies burst when he gets in here.
Exactly. The key on this game, coming in and out. This nose tackle's trying to loop around, but these offensive linemen are able to just push this wall down into the lap of your free hitter.
Yeah.
And you're able to get Kerryon Johnson to the next level. Because you can see that linebacker tries to come over the top. He has nowhere to go because his defensive tackle's sitting in his lap.
Look at this.
Sticks his arm out, so Kerryon, he can get it to the second level. Does he have that breakaway speed where he's going to bust one from 60, 70? Maybe he doesn't have that top end, but he definitely gets there.
Don't have to worry about him. Golden Tate traded.
Exactly. So you look at Reed right here. In the NFL, if you're a three technique and you get off the ball and you're not blocked, there's a reason for it. This isn't high school football. They don't miss people. So when the tackle gets off, he knows he's either going to get hit by a guard that's pulling or the tight end that's coming down to block him. And if you watch Reed, he knows right away. He sees it, looks out to his right, sees the block, is able to face the tight end one-on-one, and a defensive lineman should win this battle every single time. So you look at a guy like Sheldon Richardson, we should be seeing plays like him if the Lions want to start bringing in tight ends to do the yeoman's work in the inside. That's why tight ends usually block on the edge. They don't block inside. They're just not big enough and physical enough to block a Sheldon Richardson. Coverage-wise, you have to be very careful with the Detroit Lions. You got to be disciplined. Jack Del Rio, back in the day when I was playing with him, would always say, don't bite the cheese. Meaning, if there's something shallow from the tight end right here, there's always something deep coming in behind it. And this linebacker right here sees this, jumps it, bites the cheese, and the quarterback goes right in behind him, which is exactly the throw that they want to make, which, oh, by the way, is beyond the sticks. Second and 10, twice 12-yard, at least a 12-yard throw. Whomever's playing linebacker, you've got to know when they chip the tight end, in this case, chipping on his way out, runs a nice shallow cross. You have two defenders from Seattle there. The linebacker sitting there. The safety decides he's going to be a hero and get down and cover the short route. Well, something short, something deep. Don't bite the cheese. Detroit's able to move the chain. So it's kind of what their passing game is all about. They're really about, the high lows and the drives and the digs.
Hey, Raj.
Look at what they do. This is the pre-snacks defensive line for the Detroit Lions. And this is where Green Bay, I mean, you look at this They move to the side. You bring a tight end back in to block. It doesn't bring back anybody from Detroit, so they're able to double team at the point here. This nose tackle gets buried.
Ooh.
I mean, you don't see guys get decleated like that and buried. And the running back does a great job of just following that block. Look at, and now the new line of scrimmage, 5 yards down the field. So you're seeing a lot of these royal blue jerseys getting pushed back. Tight end bending his way back in. That way these offensive linemen can all just tee off in one direction and push this line back. And they're very, very able to do that. Running back is just patient, waits for the cue. This defensive tackle's trying to hand fight. He gets cut off. Get up to the linebacker. Bam, there's the new line of scrimmage. So you're already 4 or 5 yards down the field. Latavius Murray, Paul, with the way we've seen him run that cutback run over the last couple weeks, I mean, it's going to be a good option for him. But
there he is.
Damon Harrison.
Damon Harrison traded from the New York Giants, one of the best run-stuffing defensive tackles in the NFL.
And you're going to see a perfect example of it here. You have 5 defensive linemen, 5 offensive linemen, a linebacker, and a running back. Okay, the center, in this case, is trying to get up to the second level and take care of the linebacker, and they're hoping that this backside guard can at least cut him off. But when you have a guy with his size and strength and his mobility, stiff arm, just a lot like Linval Joseph does, able to come back, and they had something here because that line, the linebacker's cut. They got him down on the ground, probably an illegal trip there that they didn't call.
Yeah.
But you'll see now with his hands and his quickness, his ability to keep that line from getting pushed back in the lap. So the bear front, we've been seeing a lot more of this, and by bear I mean you have 3 defensive linemen here in the middle, and they're covering up the guard, the center, and the other guard, and with these 3 linemen trying to keep and withhold the A gaps and the B gaps and securing them. They were not able to do that before, but now you'll see the push on the center. The running back sees the linebacker, and here he's going to try to cut that back, but he has the ability to 2-gap, get off the ball, and then make a tackle.
Yeah.
He's added not only, let's say, weight to the front, but also the fact that he is definitely got good hands and he's quick. This is the exact same play that we saw Detroit run. 3 technique, sees the tight end, but in this case, he's not able to hit, to get off of that block, and then to make the tackle. He just gets himself walled in. The receiver comes in, gets the block on the safety. Now his corner's stuck, slips, and gets going. So they're not, gap sound isn't quite what they are in defense, but they're getting better.
Like Pete said, it's been a problem all season. Do you put Latavius on a big game?
I do. I absolutely do. I mean, I think with our offensive lineman and with Latavius, his ability to get outside, plant that foot, and cut, if he just sees one guy get out of his gap, he can get to that next level, and we've seen what he can do when he gets to the second level.